Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Microsoft Pulse, where we go over the Microsoft roadmap so you don't have to. Today, we thought we'd start off with something different and introduce ourselves. So, Matthew, you being the newest person to the show, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. Very excited to be here. My name is Matthew Ruderman. I am a security product manager at a large company headquartered here in Minnesota.
Great. Tom.
I am Tom Duff. I am basically a SharePoint person, Power Automate, Power App type person, working for a large and getting larger health insurance firm in the Pacific Northwest.
Great. And I'm Tamara Bredemus, and I teach people how to use Microsoft products and help them adopt them to make their lives easier. And I work for a consulting company on the East Coast. So we're covering,
Every time
East,
zone.
Middle, and West. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go through the roadmap. The roadmap is broken down into four different sections. The first section is called in development, which means Microsoft is working on it. Then there is rolling out, meaning they have started to push it out to all of the online servers so that you may start seeing peaks of this new feature in your tenant. Then we have launched, which means everybody who that feature is focused for, whether it be the enterprise or commercial, GCC, GCC High, or DoD, that it has been launched into your environment. Finally, we'll cover anything that is canceled or postponed. And there are a couple of those this week. So, why don't we get started? Tom, why don't you start us off with what you found interesting in development?
Try not to step on any of the items you're doing. So we are seeing some work with Copilot with what they're calling agent mode. And this is coming out in Word. It's also coming out in Excel and PowerPoint. And basically, in the Word agent mode, it's going to let you select or choose from multiple models, giving you flexibility on how you want to have this thing actually work. So it could be one of the Chat GPT models that you have out there, or maybe it could actually be one of the ones that is not Chat GPT. But you're going to have that ability. That actually was due last. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's only January. It's due next month, and it's going out to the worldwide tenant. Then we also have, let me scroll down a little bit on the screen. We have agent mode in PowerPoint. We actually have it showing up twice on the list, but it looks pretty much identical. And this is agent mode in PowerPoint allows you to transform, polish, and edit presentations through natural conversations and chat, preserving your deck's formatting, structure, and branding. Guide Copilot to update slides, refine layouts, and iterate on using enterprise data so that you can focus on your ideas and present with confidence. Obviously, you have to have a Copilot license. This is coming out next month too for worldwide. Um, I'm really hoping that this improves the Copilot experience with PowerPoint because to me that seems to be the killer app and it always seems to fall just slightly short in being able to get something. You know, you see the nice you know, PowerPoint slide decks. And it's like, look, we got this, we got that. And it's like, I can't get anything but words. So I'm actually looking forward to this and hoping that it actually gives us some stuff. And one other one that I want to mention, and this is Microsoft Copilot, people skills, expanded AI inferencing for E3, E5 users. So this new people skills that they're going to have out there, it's going to use AI powered thing to say, hey, these are the skills that the people around you have based on what we can tell from the Microsoft graph. And you can use that to say, hey, I need to find somebody that does XYZ. This may help you. The interesting thing about this is that they are basically saying that this is going to be available to people who have E3 and E5 licenses, not necessarily people who have Copilot. You have to have one Copilot license in your tenant. But other than that, you're going to have the ability to do this. And actually, somebody forwarded me a link today that pointed to some other scenarios where you're going to be able to use AI features without necessarily having Copilot. I think what it was is that you'll be able to do Copilot agents, and used to be that to run a Copilot agent, you had to have Copilot. Now they're changing it to where you can run a Copilot agent that somebody has built for you without having Copilot. But you do need to have Copilot to build the thing. So I'm sensing that this one right here is leading to a bit of a change in Microsoft going, hey, we want people to use AI Copilot, but you don't necessarily have to have the Copilot license to pull it off. So keep an eye open for this particular direction. You may see more and more of this coming out in some of the updates that you see, where they're saying you have AI powered things, but they're not necessarily a requirement to have Copilot to use them. So I just leave that with you.
Great. Matthew, what are you seeing on the security front in development?
I've got a couple items to cover today. The first one, both are related to Microsoft Purview, unsurprisingly so. It's where a lot of our security features from the Microsoft perspective kind of touch the rest of the product landscape. One of them is in development, set to roll out next month. We'll see if that timeline holds. Microsoft is adjusting the diagnostics when a DLP alert is thrown on a document or an email or an object. This additional information is going to surface what type of sensitive information was found in that document, what labels may or may not be applied to that document, and what specific policy triggered that DLP alert. This is pretty big. If you've ever tried to look at a DLP alert and understand why was this triggered, you have users asking you, why didn't my document send, or why couldn't I upload my document, being able to give them a clear answer as to what was found, why it was found, is big, especially because we see a lot of DLP alerts trapping things like PowerPoint documents or Excel files that might have hidden content in it that isn't easily findable when you're just looking at the document. You're trying to find a string of numbers that maybe matches a social security number or credit card number or some other piece of sensitive content, and you, for the life of yourself, cannot find it. Hopefully this new feature will help those administrators be able to locate and clearly explain to their users what was triggered and what they can do to prevent that from happening in the future.
Great.
I'm really excited about this one. I think this one's going to really help IT admins a lot. And the more we help explain to users what behavior they're doing that's triggering alerts, the less they're going to try to do that behavior and the more secure your organization is likely to be.
Oh, yes.
The second one, this is a bit of a smaller one, but I really like this one. Microsoft is making service health information available in more places. So right now, if you want to look at the service health dashboard, you have to go to the primary Microsoft Admin Center. You have to have the appropriate role, and then you can see the service health information. Microsoft is creating a new dashboard that will combine the services of Purview, Microsoft 365 services, and Azure Cloud services into a single service health dashboard, making it so admins don't have to go to 3 different places to see how their different services are doing.
Nice.
If you are responsible for ensuring the health of your Microsoft environment, this will make your life a lot easier because you can see everything through a single pane of glass. This is set to roll out in March. Another very exciting one.
Great. Anything else in development that floats your boat?
Not from a security perspective. I've got some more for later, but I think you're up, Tamara.
Great. So Microsoft Viva, the Copilot dashboard, there's an enhanced scope drill down, which is going to allow leaders and managers to drill down and explore data in Copilot dashboard by indirect groups. And that's going to unlock a new layer of visibility into Copilot adoption and impact. Then there's also Microsoft Copilot list email attachments in Microsoft 365. Users will be able to list the file attachments that they received or sent over email in M365 Copilot. I have to tell you a great use case for Copilot. One of the things we do in my group is we update all of our training. So each 3-week period, sprint, I guess you would call it, we're assigned a deck, and either we create the deck or we update the deck. Well, we were doing a year-end review, and the way that we process the deck, the author is not usually the last one who handles the deck. So last modified by didn't help identify who created the deck. And we don't have metadata on who the author is. So what I did is I asked Microsoft Copilot to ground itself in our training site and find all the training materials that I wrote. And it pulled back a list of 15 for 2025. And it was so easy. So that as you're getting ready for your year-end review, just remember Copilot is there to help. Also in Microsoft Edge, watermarking protection. So watermarking protection in Microsoft Edge helps organizations visibly reinforce data protection policies by overlaying a persistent watermark on sensitive content viewed in the browser. Now, this feature is designed to deter unauthorized sharing, support compliance efforts, and increase user awareness when handling confidential information. And then along with that, in Microsoft Edge, is the protected clipboard. So admins shouldn't have to choose between locking down copy and paste and risking data leaks. So protected clipboard offers a smarter way for keeping sensitive data safe without disrupting user workflows. So what it does is it leverages Purview DLP policies to define trusted boundaries across managed cloud apps. So data inside those admin-defined boundaries can stay protected, while external data can enter if needed. Granular control for the admins, seamless productivity for the users. That's due out in December of next year. Both of those are due out in December. So showing up a little early on the roadmap. And then this one's near and dear to my heart, open and send Outlook file templates. So Microsoft is introducing the ability to open and send OFT files, Outlook file templates, on mobile. This feature allows users to view and open OFT files as a draft message, so users can easily reuse their Outlook email templates. And that's coming out on Friday, and everybody's getting love on that one. The standard tenant GCC, GCC High, and the DoD. And I've saved the best for last, and that is Microsoft 365 drawn electronic signatures with e-signature for Microsoft 365. So signers will be able to add their electronic signature to a PDF using a stylus, touch, or mouse, in addition to the existing typed signature option. That's not coming out until March and only for the standard commercial or enterprise tenant. But that's something to look forward to. Anybody else have something they want to touch on for in development that we haven't touched on yet?
I think Tom does.
Go for it, Tom.
Just one more that I want to toss out there because I think it's a really cool feature. So in Microsoft Copilot, the researcher agent that you have is just remarkable for what it can put together in terms of, give it a prompt, it'll grind away for 10 minutes or so and give you this nice 45-page output of everything you wanted to know about topic X. I love it. Well, now what they're enabling you to do is you can specify, they're giving you new output formats in the researcher agent. So it goes and gives you everything. This is great. You'll then be able to export those reports, which normally it's just like, yeah, you can export it to Word or Pages. What you can now do is export it to a PowerPoint slide deck, a PDF, an infographic, or an audio overview. I think that is like really freaking cool in the fact that you may be able to sit there, have this wonderful document that you've created and say, hey, can you put this into an infographic, which means you can put that out to somebody in a nice, concise format without them having to wade through 35 pages of stuff. And PowerPoint, if it works, then that would be really cool too. So that's coming out in February for Worldwide Tenant. Looking forward to seeing how that actually works and what kind of things it can do with infographics or audio overview.
Wonderful. Matthew, anything for you, sir?
No, it was a bit of a light security week for stuff in development.
Fabulous. Well, let's move on to rolling out. Matthew, why don't you start us off with rolling out and tell
Sure.
us what excites you about it?
I've got two that are very exciting for me for rolling out. The first one is the ability for admins to customize oversharing dialogues for DLP in New Outlook. Anyone who has ever gotten a DLP notification has probably shared some amount of frustration that those notifications tend to lack some information and tend to be a little on the confusing side. And I think this goes for a lot of the kind of canned responses we get from Microsoft DLP. The ability to customize those DLP messages to tell your users exactly what happened and exactly what they need to do based on your company's policies to resolve that notification is big. It will likely reduce calls to the help desk. It will likely streamline your user processes. As I said before, the more information we can get in front of our users, the more secure your organization is likely to be. So this is a big change, and I'd love to see Microsoft push this out to more products than just New Outlook. But we do see a lot of things happen in New Outlook before they kind of land in other places in the environment. So this is set to roll out this month. So hopefully people should start seeing this in their tenants soon. Really good update from Microsoft. The second one relates to Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal. And this is giving AI and IT admins the ability to gain better visibility into oversharing risks and drive remediations within their environment. An understanding of how many sensitive Copilot interactions are protected, and to turn on Microsoft DLP for M365 Copilot from that same panel. This is going to help enable better adoption for Copilot in a secure way. There has been a lot of conversation about AI and the security risks that potentially exist around AI tools like Microsoft Copilot. This is one way Microsoft is giving admins a better visibility into what is happening with Copilot in their environment so they can analyze those interactions and determine where they might have risk in their organization that they might need a policy or procedure or something to close the security risk. So I love anytime Microsoft gives us more visibility into what's happening in our tenant, just allows us to make better decisions. And this related specifically to Copilot, I think is a big change and a big update. This is also set to roll out this month, so we should hopefully start seeing this pretty soon.
Great. I'll go next, and then we'll finish up with Tom before we go into cancel or go into launched. So Microsoft Teams, there's a new policy setting to require explicit consent for recording and transcription in Teams one-to-one calls. So Microsoft is expanding the capability to require explicit consent for recording and transcription to include one-to-one calls in Microsoft Teams. A new setting in Teams calling policy allows admins to enforce this requirement before recording or transcription can begin. So when a user with the policy initiates recording, transcription, or both in a one-on-one call, the other participant is automatically muted with their camera and content sharing turned off. The participant will see a prompt asking whether they consent to be included in the recording and transcription. The best thing about this is great. But the thing that I like the best about this is it's coming out to the tenants that I'm working in. So it's coming out to standard, GCC, GCC high, and DOD. Very excited about that. The second one, and for anyone over 40, this is a great thing. And that is Microsoft Teams resizable gallery in Teams meeting. Now, we've been talking about this one for a while, but what it does is you can resize the video gallery in Teams meetings to see more people when the content is being shared. What I wanted to do is I wanted to do the opposite. I wanted to show less people when content is being shared so that that content can get bigger on the screen. So I'm excited because if they can do it one way, it means they can do it the other way, and we'll see what happens. But that's coming out to standard and GCC. Tom, what do you like in rolling out?
A couple of Copilot ones, obviously. One is edit scheduled prompts. Now, the description of this one is very basic. Enable customers to edit the scheduled prompt schedule. Okay.
Thank you.
If
I
you've
cleared up
tried,
everything.
yeah, there you go. If you've tried to use scheduled prompts in Copilot, great idea. The initial rollout, and it's been a while since I went back because you found that, oh, I've just scheduled a prompt and it will run 10 times and then stop and not tell you. Like, well, that sucks. Oh, I need to change the schedule. Well, then you need to delete your prompt and reset it back up again because you didn't have the ability to schedule, make edit changes to the schedule. Now you're going to be able to. And I think that will start allowing people to look at scheduled prompts and see a lot more value in them instead of going, well, yeah, great idea, quirky implementation. Yeah, that's fine. So that is coming out this month, and it's coming out to standard worldwide. So keep an eye open for that one. And then the other one, they looked really close at the beginning, but then I started looking at it closer. It's like, oh, I see what's going on here. They're both agent mode for Excel for Copilot. One is for desktop apps. So agent mode is releasing to Copilot in Excel on Windows and Mac, enabling users to build and edit workbooks with Copilot using multi-stage or multi-step workflows. Eligible licenses can now select which model to use, including both OpenAI and Anthropic models. This is basically allowing you to do all the cool things to say, hey, go in and build me this, and what about that? And, change the form to do this, that, and the other thing. So this is a really cool thing rolling out in January. The second one harkens back to what I talked about earlier, is that in Copilot Chat, agent mode in Excel, available for M365 subscribers without a Copilot license. Agent mode is released into Copilot in Excel for the web, Mac, and Windows, enabling users to build and edit workbooks with Copilot using multi-step workflows. When you're updating budgets, creating financial models, or analyzing data, Agent mode uses Excel's most powerful tools like tables, charts, pivot tables, and formulas to help you get the job done. I love their writers. This gets back into that whole thing of they're allowing you to do some pretty decent Copilot-y things without a Copilot license. So again, I think you're seeing more of a move to say, we're going to allow you to do Copilot without having to have a Copilot license, which is kind of a cool thing if you want to start getting that user adoption, kind of, let it slip in under the rug type thing. So keep an eye open for that coming out this month, hopefully. And it's coming out to worldwide. So yeah, that's a trend that I'm starting to see more and more. Keep an eye open for it.
Great. Matt, what do you have going on? Or I'm sorry, are you done in development?
Yes, I am good.
And Tom, did you cover everything you wanted to cover?
Yes, I did.
Okay, let's move on to launched then. Tom, why don't you start in launched? And just to let you know, there's nothing I want to talk about in launch.
Don't feel bad. I didn't highlight anything either.
That's how big launched is. All
Basically,
right. Well,
I was going to say, just real quick, there's three
yeah.
things that are edge related in version 144. One is contextual nudges on address bar, offering help summarizing web pages. Another one is performance setting updates and feature name changes. And the last one is Copilot icon visibility. These are all launched this month. Standard worldwide, yeah, all worldwide. So if those things float your boat, take a look at the roadmap. You can see a little bit more information about them.
I got
Matthew.
one item in launched.
It's the only one I left you.
This is for, yeah, right, Tom? Thank you, though. So this, put on your nerdy security hats. If you have one, this is for you. Microsoft has expanded their Zap capability. For those of you who don't know what Zap is, it is 0-hour auto purge, which is a function within Microsoft Defender, which essentially senses 0-day malware, spam, phishing attacks, and has the ability to sense those and auto either purge or quarantine that data to protect it from getting to your users, thus reducing the risk of potential breach. Microsoft is expanding the functionality to work with Microsoft Teams messages, and that has launched this month. So if you are a security admin and you want to zap some team messages, you now have that option.
That's just fun to talk about.
It is fun to talk about.
All right. We're going to finish up with what has been canceled. Basically, if you are an executive assistant or a delegate of somebody in Outlook, features that they were working on to make it easier to schedule a meeting, search for a meeting, or triage a meeting.
Using Copilot
Those
chat.
have been canceled. Disappointing, I know, but that was all through Copilot chat. So those three have been canceled. Yes.
I find it interesting, the descriptions. They don't tell you why it was canceled, and they don't apologize for any inconvenience.
No, that's something Microsoft usually does.
Yeah, this is just like, yep, it's out of here. Live with it. We're done.
We have our reasons. It's canceled. Move on.
You're not going to get to find out what
Nothing
they
to see here. Move along.
Correct.
These are not the features you are.
These are not the cancellations you've been working for.
All right, wonderful. Well, that's everything on the roadmap that's fit to print. I'd like to thank Matthew for agreeing to join us in our endeavor. Tom, thanks as always for coming back. And maybe next week we'll also have Jennifer Mason with us. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining, everybody, and have a great day. Bye now.
Bye, all.
Bye, everyone.